In programming, any task or anything that keeps repeating is called a loop. Today, I'll show you how loops works in Kotlin. There are 3 types of loops in Kotlin. So watch till the end and I'll show you how to write loops with confidence, even if you've never done this before. Let's jump in. What exactly is a loop? A loop is a concept in programming that allows you to repeat a task multiple times. This is useful when you want to perform the same action on different items or for a certain number of times without writing the same code over and over again. So let's see how loops works in any programming language. First off, imagine you are filling up your car with some fuel. You start by pumping the fuel into the tank. Then you keep checking the tank if it is full or not. If it is not full, you keep pumping. Once it is full, then you stop pumping it. That's how loops work. So you run some instruction, you check a condition, and you either repeat or you stop. Now let's see the first type of loop that Kotlin gives us, the for loop. We use the for loop when you know the number of times you want to perform a certain action or you want something to happen. For example, let's say you wake up in the morning and you want to perform 10 push-ups. You know exactly how many push-ups you want to do, which is 10. So in that case, you use a for loop. Let's see how it looks. This is the general syntax for a for loop. So you start with a for keyword and then a bracket. Inside the bracket, then the item you want to loop over the collection. So for each item, you pick one item from the collection, you perform the action on it, you go to the next, pick, perform on it, go, pick, perform on it in that order until all the item in the collection gets finished. So for the push-up example, you have for rep in between 1 and 10. What do you want to do for 10 push-ups? So I'll just print push-up rep number, then I put the rep there. So when we run it, you see push-up rep 1, push-up rep 2 in that order until it gets to 10. So that's how a for loop works. Another example is, let's say you want to send message to 5 members of your family at the same time. So you create a list that holds the family. So now you want to send a message to each member of this group. So you say for person in family. Then you do send text. Then you can say happy birthday. And then you specify the person you are sending the message to. So now we can create this send message function, which will be responsible for sending the message. So now we have it, and it will send the message to everybody on this list. So you use the for loop when you know the limit in advance. If you are learning something new, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss updates from this channel. Let's continue. The next type of loop is while loop. You use the while loop when you don't know exactly how many times you want the loop to run. Instead, you keep repeating something as long as the condition is true. So let's say you want to prepare spaghetti or pasta. Generally, what you do is you put water on the fire and you keep checking the water until it boils before you drop your spaghetti or the pasta in the water. So you can't tell how long it will take before your water to boil. So in that condition, you use something like a loop that will keep running until the water begins to boil or the condition becomes true. Then it terminates, and now you can add your pasta to the water. So to simulate that, we can have a boolean variable called water is boiling and set it to false from the beginning. Now we start with our while loop and use the while keyword. Inside, you specify your condition. So our condition is when this one becomes false, that's water is boiling. So when the water is boiling, so inside here, what do we want to do? We just print a message saying heating pot. And this will keep running until the boolean variable here becomes true. We can update this to true here. to true. So outside the loop, we can print a message that will show only after the loop has completed. So now when you run the application, you have here, so it starts from the water is heating. So as soon as it becomes true, then the message will be printed, water is boiling, time to add your spark. So another example, let's say you have a list of tasks to complete. For example, you want to code, you want to go to jogging, upload video, and then edit some video. Those are the tasks you want to complete. So you go through each task one by one until the task in the task list is finished. For that, you create a variable called task, which is the list of activities you want to do. So now you set the index of the task to 0, which is the beginning of the list, which is the first item, code. And then now you can bring your while loop and say what? Whilst the index of the task is less than the task size, then you print the message. After, you have to update the index. Now let's run it. So this is the task you just completed. So this while loop keeps running while the index is less than the number of size. So it goes step by step, marking each task completed until the last one is done. The third type is the do while loop. This one guarantees you do something at least once before checking the condition. It's like trying to unlock your phone with your Face ID. Your phone tries at least once, and if it doesn't work, you keep trying until it succeeds. So to demonstrate that, you can create a variable called attempt. So we want to see the number of times you attempt unlocking your phone. You start from 0, and then now let's see the results. This is how the do while loops work. You start with the word do, and then you bring your curly bracket. Inside the bracket, we increase the attempt, and then we assign the result, the number of trials. So we'll create a function which is responsible for trying the Face ID, and then we print the attempt. This is the action that will happen. So do this action, and then you bring a while after the curly bracket, and then you set the condition. So if the condition, which is the result, is not equal to unlock, it will keep running this task of what? Trying the Face ID. Let's create this function. The Face ID function picks one of these possible trial results, which is too dark, face not found, unlock, and then try again. These are the possible values or results when you try the Face ID. And then we use the Kotlin random function to randomly select one of these options anytime we try. So you call the try Face ID function. The result that's picked from this list will be stored in this result variable, and then it will be compared over here. If it matches this unlock, then our loop will end. Otherwise, it will keep repeating this action. So this is how the do while loops work, and when we run it, we have this. So the phone was unlocked after the first attempt, so we can run it again. It has been unlocked after 3 trials. So the key difference is that the action will always happen at least once. Now here is something important to know about loops. Loops must always terminate. That's why we keep checking a condition. So for a for loop, it is when the number of count has been exhausted. For example, your 10 push-ups. So when we do it up to the 10th rep, then we stop. And then for a while loop, it is when the condition becomes false, then the operation will cease to occur. And then we have the do while loop. It also runs until the condition is false. before it stops. If you forget this, you end up with infinite loop. Your program will run and never stop. Don't forget to like and share so someone else learns without looping through boring tutorials.